So I'm here with Dr. Sandra Bontemps. She is an applied kinesiologist, also uses net neuroemotional technique and several other disciplines. So we're going to learn a little bit more today about how she works and how things operate. So give us a little background.
I'm a licensed chiropractor by licensure originally. I practice TBM, total body modification, applied kinesiology, NET, neuroemotional technique. I started 25 years ago with cranial work from an old injury of my own, and ended up in this miraculous world of healing.
So tell me about a typical session with you.
Good question. Okay, so I take a really thorough intake, do a really thorough history, finding out about their traumatic injuries, any kind of medications they take. I do orthopedic neurological exams. I do a little bit of lab work to find out, to monitor calcium levels, pH levels, stress levels, adrenal stress levels for their system, so that we can monitor how the patient progresses when they're here. I give a couple questionnaires so that we can target specifically what's going on with that particular person. The exams that I do, the lab work, the NET evaluation tells me if what they have going on in different parts of the body are emotional, homeopathic, or nutritional, or structural in nature. And then we can go about bringing about results and correction. Yes.
And when you say while they're here, is that over the course of one appointment, or is that over the course of several appointments?
This is over the course of their first appointment. It's usually about an hour, and we do a really thorough intake and exam, and then I go away and do an evaluation of all of that, and come back, and the person comes in for a report of findings and their first treatment.
Okay. And typically you would, obviously based on findings, prescribe for them or suggest for them dietary changes, supplementation. What other kinds of things would you?
Absolutely. We find out where the blockages are and where the channels are clogged, and we recommend homeopathic remedies which help to decrease congestion, help to open the channels, and then you need supplements to help build the body up.
Sure.
And then structurally to work with the body to have all of those systems work really well.
Are there general guidelines? Are there suggestions you could give our audience, maybe things they could watch out for or be aware of in their life that might key into or show them that there's a certain need that's not being met, whether it's nutritional, structural, whatever it might be?
Pain is certainly an indicator and a good, it's a red flag. The body's saying, help me, help me, help me, Yeah.
Right.
And so, the nociceptors are being stimulated at that point, and the pain is going up to the brain. So that feedback loop is a very valuable message. And to ignore that is, you take things that suppress the pain, the Aleve or whatever, and what happens is the real problem is still there.
Right.
And it's just being suppressed. So if you have something going on in your life, whether it's sugar cravings, which is, I would interpret that it's an imbalance in your gut of the good guys and the bad guys, and the bad guys are winning because they want the sugar, and that's what's creating that sugar craving.
Sure.
So any kind of symptomology that's going on is usually the headline of the story. A diagnosis, that's the headline of the story, and then people come to me to find out what's going on in the story, what the story is.
So who do you prefer, the generally healthy, active person coming in and fine-tuning, or do you prefer to take that person who's way out in the field and bring them back to the mainstream?
Great question. I love working with whoever comes in here, and usually willingness is the key.
Right.
Willingness. If somebody is willing to get, they're here and they want to get better. That's what I love. Someone who just wants to get better.